Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. And today we have with us Bob Dubois, who is a Colorado network marketing leader. Welcome to the program, Bob.
Thanks, Mike. Well, it's been a great day already. How are you doing today?
You know, doing awesome, and it's always great just to talk about things that improve and better your life personally, professionally, spiritually, financially, all of that. So I always love when we can connect up and have these talks because you always bring such good value to the show. So we've been talking in kind of a series here about some of the key points that people need to keep in mind regarding a potential opportunity with network marketing. I think we've talked about some myths and misconceptions, but today we want to talk about what it's like to have that residual income coming in and giving you that time freedom versus what it was like before. And I think the best way to do that is to talk from your perspective. You know, what was your life before, and then now what are you seeing with that time freedom and residual income?
Yes, absolutely. Well, life is so different. Sometimes it's, to think about how life was. And, I had a successful life before I got involved with network marketing. But now that I've experienced what I'm experiencing now, there's no way I would ever want to go back to that life. And a lot of people would have wanted that life that I had. But, just the hustle and the bustle and the rat race that you go around that you really don't realize that you're doing when you're trading time for dollars. You don't realize it that, you're always on the run and all of that. And nowadays having time freedom because of residual income, because of this industry of network marketing, my life is so totally different. There's so many angles we could talk about it at. And which way would you like me to go first?
Well, let's put it this way. The first thought that comes to my mind is the alarm clock.
Yeah.
You probably know where I'm going with that. It's like, oh, it's another Monday. The alarm clock's going off. I got to hit the ground and hustle and go and grind. And now having a successful network marketing lifestyle and business doesn't mean you sleep until noon. But at the same time, what's that feeling of kind of cutting ties with that alarm clock?
Right. Well, for me, I'll just kind of share a little bit like how it was and then what it's like now. I owned one of my businesses I owned that took most of my time was a tree trimming business here in the Golden, Colorado area with 10 employees. And, I was the guy that, hey, when you own a business, the buck stops at you. So I used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning when everybody around my house, the kids and everybody was sleeping. I would shower real quick. I'd get right out of the house and I'd get down to the office so I could make sure that the business was prepared and people's tools, the employees' tools were ready and everything before they got there, so I could maximize their time when they got there. And I was always on the move. I was even sleeping at night before that. Don't know if I was always sleeping because I was so worried about making sure that was happening the day before. And I don't have to do that anymore. I'll tell you a little story. So once I got my network marketing business built where it was paying me money and I had it running the way I wanted it to be running, I got to back off after I got rid of my businesses where it was abnormal and it was very odd. It had to become a habit because I felt like I was actually cheating myself when I would, no alarm clock or anything. I woke up when I felt like my body was done resting or my brain woke up to a new day, and that wasn't 10 o'clock in the morning. That'd be more like 6:30 or 7 because I'm an early riser. But, I didn't have to rush around the house. I didn't have to hop in the shower. I might be able to go read a book. I might be able to put coffee on and all of that. Well, I tell you, that started becoming a really nice habit of mine, being able to mosey into that day, doing some exercise, taking care of myself first before I went out after the world. Well, not too long ago, Mike, I made a decision that I thought I'd just, hop in my truck and go down to Starbucks and go get myself a cup, coffee through the drive-through. And I got home, but actually, the drive down there, I'd actually forgot over these last few years how crazy and the rat race it is out there with everybody in rush hour going to work in the morning. Some of that road rage, some of that attitude going on. I went through Starbucks, came back home, and I got out of my truck and I put my coffee on the back ledge of my truck, and I shut the door, and my coffee fell off and splattered all over the garage floor. And I looked at it and just thought, I am not going back out there in that rat race to go get another coffee. I'm going to go back. I'm just going to go in the house and enjoy my peacefulness. I'll use the Keurig machine and have my own coffee. I didn't want to go back out there in that rat race. And that's why even nowadays when I design when I set meetings up and stuff, I don't head out of my house till 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a rule that I've set because I don't want to be in the middle of all that rush hour traffic and stuff. Because I can now, without the pressures on my back like I had before, I can pick and choose and I can work my hours. I can live my life and then work my hours how I set them, not how the world has to set them. Does that make sense?
It totally does, and I think that's an excellent example that you mentioned about the coffee, and I'll bet that the distance between your house and that Starbucks was not even very far. So for you to experience that grind and stress, that's pretty amazing, because a lot of people might have a 30-40 minute commute or more, and then it's just amplified. And it made me think of something else related to that, and I wonder if you've experienced this or had people on your team that experienced the same thing. Everybody seems to acclimate to the level of income that they currently have, meaning they get a raise and it's like, yay, I got a raise of X number of dollars per month, and poof, it's gone because now they spend it every single month with more whatever, fun time, leisure, food. And everybody seems to strive for more and more accolades and promotions. And so there's that inner turmoil in the corporate world where you're, trying to make it up the corporate ladder and elbow your way into the better position or get that promotion. And then if you don't get it now, you're upset. And it's that stress, right? So contrast that feeling and situation with not even having to, let's say that someone goes, well, I don't need to make $1 million in network marketing a year. I don't need to make mega dollars. I just need enough to feel like, a few thousand a month so that I don't have to strive and feel like I am always grinding and scratching for that next level. And then guess what I would suspect would happen? You relax a little bit, work, because just because you investigate a network marketing opportunity doesn't mean you have to jump ship and quit your job. You can build it up slowly on the side, but I would venture to say that if you then had that consistent residual income coming in, all of a sudden you're going to feel a lot more relaxed at work, and maybe those promotions come quicker just for the simple fact that you're not the one fighting and scratching.
Oh, absolutely. Because, your mind is more clear. You're not in that rat race. Yep. And you're not in that pressure that's on your back to achieve more or to be more or to beat that other guy in that job. Here in network marketing, at least in my business, what we do, we're always working to help people, achieve more, and we're encouraging them and we're working with them, which is a lot opposite of what is out there in the traditional business world. And so it does take the pressure off you. I mean, when I sleep at night now, I sleep. I really do sleep, and so I wake up rested, and you do achieve more. You achieve more in all aspects of your life. I believe that when the pressure's off, you can be a better parent, you can be a better spouse, you can be a better, like me, a better son, a better brother, better employer when I still owned my businesses. It enhances all your life all the way around because it helps take the pressures off and it allows your mind to think more clearly. And it's sometimes that is so hard to describe to people. but there's a calmness and a peacefulness to you that goes all the way around and all through your life.
You know, and speaking of promotions and striving, isn't it true that once you do, you know, and again, we've said this before, and people realize this, you don't need to go jump in with both feet and be full-time. This network marketing is an easy thing to do nights, weekends, when you have an hour at a lunch break or whatnot. But when you think about, wow, I would like to give myself a raise, in essence, you can do that because maybe you book an extra couple appointments on a Saturday morning, or maybe you just hustle a little bit more and bring in just a little bit more in your network marketing business. And now all of a sudden there's your raise, but it's better because you didn't have to, you know, elbow your way in and hope to get that promotion at work. It's just something that you're able to do, and you can get another raise, quote unquote, the next month and the next month if you wanted. Whereas at work, how often do you get actual raises? So speak a little bit about once you have a little bit of consistency and momentum going, how it is to then bump it up just a little to the next notch. And again, we're not talking superstar numbers and all the, you know, ones that people talk about where, you know, it's the big glory stories, but just for the regular Joe that can go, you know what, sometimes an extra $200 a month can make all the difference in the world.
Oh, absolutely. See, here's the power of network marketing. Is you get to leverage who you are with the work of other people. So, and what happens is when you do something and create something, that can actually really compound what's going on, because that can duplicate down in your teams with the other people. So, yeah, like me, Mike, I came in the business just to make a couple $1,000s a month was my main goal, and I knew that was going to take a little while. And I built it in the nooks and the crannies. I had to, because I was so busy owning 2 different companies. I actually suggest to people to not start this industry, to ever think if someone's unemployed or something. Do not just do this and think that that's going to be your job. You need to have something else going to help keep the pressures off you, so you can help build this. But build this in the nooks and the crannies. And you, like me today, I could go and decide, I mean, I'm going to use a big number. If I wanted to, I could go easily, not easily. I'm going to go put some good efforts in this, but I know what I can do, and I could go raise my income over $100,000 more than it is today within the next year if I wanted to, if I wanted to put that time and effort in. But let's take that down, and that's easy. I could easily map that out. I would just have to put the time and effort in to make it happen. But let's take that down to, if I just wanted to make another $1,000 or $2,000 a month. It doesn't take 40 hours a week to do that, or 80 hours a week to do that. I can do that in around my schedules of what I'm doing already, and anybody can do that around their life and their schedule by just doing the right activity, income producing activities, and I just quit wasting my time on other stuff in life, and I focus on increasing that, because when you increase in this industry, like I said, we get to leverage with each other's, because we all have the same 24 hours in the day. But when we're doing it together, if I go out and I produce correctly and I help a couple other people do the same thing, that can duplicate, and that can duplicate. And what's nice about this, with the residual piece of it, those people all of a sudden start doing things without you.
Yeah. And
things start duplicating, and then all of a sudden you're starting to get paid for what you did one time. See, I've been in the business 14 years now, and I'm still getting paid for my first phone call that I made 10 minutes into this business. Had no idea what I was doing. I just did what they told me to do. And that pays me to this day a very, very good chunk of my income that, it duplicated, and it grew, and I'm just getting the leverage with other people's time and efforts, and that's where your residual starts building.
That's you said a mouthful there, and I think that I want to just keep focused on the time freedom, the lifestyle freedom, and and look forward, what would you say someone listening to this, once they kind of get a little bit of a clear picture of what we're talking about here, of kind of taking the stress and pressure off? And I love how you said, if you do start into a network marketing opportunity, don't quit the day job, because it takes the stress and pressure off of building the network marketing. Well, once you get that built up, that residual income takes the stress and pressure off of your day job. So they really work in tandem, hand in hand. But what would you say the future looks like now, when you're thinking of, that R word, retirement, or someone looking at a 5 or 10 year goal plan in their corporate job versus building into their network marketing opportunity slowly, concurrently with their regular job?
Right. Well, we call it mailbox money. When the money just keeps coming in the mailbox because what you've done in the past. Absolutely love it. So that helps the future look even brighter than ever. I mean, in today's economics and the future, there's a lot of people that are trying to figure out how they're ever going to be able to retire. It's one of the reasons I joined the industry, so I could start building that retirement. Well, for me, a lot of my money, not my whole income is not residual, but there's a big piece of it that's residual income. So I've got money that will pay me like it's a retirement account all the way through the rest of my life. My income can keep coming in week after week after week, all the way through retirement. So in essence, I built a retirement account through my business that keeps paying. So, when I'm talking to individuals and people about this, I will talk to them about, hey, what if you had just an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month toward your retirement that we start working on now and building, where it can continue to keep paying you, because that money is going to keep coming in and coming in. And that's from the efforts of our teams and how it grows. The future for me, Mike, is more exciting, because I've got 3 sons that are growing up. They're in later 20s now. I've got a couple granddaughters. That's what we have for grandkids right now. But, I'm looking for the future for me is, I think at this point in my life, if I would have just had my businesses, I would be wishing that I could help them out in different ways. But I can be part of helping them out nowadays. I can, if life is tough on them and their struggles, I'm in the position now and in the future to be able to help them out because of what I've created. And in honesty, I really believe that we can change the world. And with this industry, we're helping people every single day. People are looking now. 95% of America doesn't have the money for the future, but they're not going to tell you that. You've got to dig in deep with them and have conversations. But I find that 95% of the people are not prepared for retirement. They don't know how to get there. They're looking. They don't know if they're not even really looking. But that's what network marketing has done. It's given me the vehicle to get it myself, and that's what the future's looking like. Future. Here's what we have is what I believe it's called hope. People are looking for hope. And for me, the future for me looks like I want to just help enough. I want to show, and I want to be part of giving people hope so they can have and experience what I'm having because of the incomes that I've built and stuff. I don't have that stress on my back. I know the future is going to be just fine. The retirement, no matter what, if Social Security is going to be here or not, hey, the future is brighter than ever, really.
You bring up a really good point about retirement, right? You could do some extra work and you've got money coming in, mailbox money, consistent money that can be used for retirement. I think that when we're discussing stresses and grinds and worries about, making ends meet or getting the raise at work, there's another level too about people. They tend to put their head in the sand about retirement. Go, well, I'll deal with that later, and later comes a lot quicker than they think. Well, the problem is so many people don't know how their mutual fund, their 401k works, but there's a lot of fees and losses and ups and downs in the market. You cannot control that. And also, if people listening to this were to nod their head or raise their hand, true or true, Social Security may go away one day, right? We don't know whether at whatever age that we are or you are we going to get Social Security? I don't know yet, right? Because I think that's the fear that people have is, what about my retirement years? Will I have enough money? Will my portfolio that I've saved up some money, tank because the Dow Jones Industrial Average tanks? Well, however that looks, if you have this side hustle, this residual income from a network marketing efforts, now all of a sudden that takes another level of stress and pressure off of you, right? I mean, don't you feel like when you think about looking for the future that that's another big aspect that we're talking about?
It is. And when people know that they've got something here that works, they can immediately start taking the pressure off of them. And when they start understanding the industry, here's another pressure, Mike. I owned a tree trimming business. So there's only so long you're going to want to really be in that industry, even if you own the company. Your employees will wear you out. Yeah. This is, and this right here, I could do this till any age. I could, I can put whatever kind of efforts I want in. Yeah, if I'm going to retire, I'm still going to do something. I'm going to call myself retired, but I'm still going to do something. And being part of helping other people is a great thing. So I can see myself, I could do this into the 80s, into the 90-year-old, where there's a lot of people's jobs and their businesses and stuff they would not be able to do. So a lot of people, as they start moving along in the industry too, I talk to them about that. That's another stress that it takes off of them immediately, because they got something in their hands. Even if they're not breaking the bank right away, they know they're building something. And it gives them hope for that future, and the hope all in itself takes pressures off. And this is an industry you can do no matter how old you are.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I love that, because there are people that are working certain jobs that they know, when I'm retired, I can't do that, or there's going to come a time where I cannot do this particular job anymore, but yet speaking to people, helping, serving, showing people opportunities to better their lives with a potential network marketing opportunity. As long as you got breath and can put two words together, you can show people that. So I like that as well. So, hey, Bob, let's wrap up with, if people are listening to this and feeling, maybe there's a chance that I can dip my toe in the water and create that side hustle without disrupting my life and fill in those nooks and crannies of my time with something productive, what would be the best way that they can reach out and connect with you?
You bet, Mike. I like keeping it pretty simple. You can reach me on my personal cell phone. You can reach me at 720-435-5076.
Perfect. Well, Bob, thank you so much for your time. It was really great getting to know you and chatting with you again. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, Mike. You too. Take care.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneurssradio.com.